Unit 3. Build a quick high fidelity prototype. In last session, we have built the low fidelity prototype with scratch image for the sales order list and sales order detail. And for this demo, we're going to build a fully interactive tracking sales order app. You're going to see the sales order list, and you having the filter criteria by the filter the sales order by status by the customer, and then you are showing the customer document entry, customer code, customer name, and then the sales order amount as well. When the end user navigate from one sales order, and they will show the detail for this sales order, the amount and customer contact person, and the line details for this sales order. Now I'm switch back to the project we having created. First of all, now I would like to get rid of, I would like to remove the load fidelity prototyping, because we're going to build a fully interactive one from scratch now. Simply, we're going to select the template using the object list report. We're going to select the list report, smart template list report for the sales order list. For the first page, and then you'll create this is the first one, this is the sales order list, and then I'm going to add a second one, smart object page for the second one for navigation. And then for the first page, now I'm going to start the design with the first page. As you can see, the generate two page for us, object list, smart object list template. So we're having the two session filter bar, table object. So the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the page. So this I'm going to call this as a order list. And then in the table object, I'm going to call, as you can see, you're having two columns. So one is the code column, and the other one is numeric column, including the amount and the numeric unit. And then for the object, I want to rename it as orders. And for the page 2, I want to rename the page 2 as order details. And then this is the order details. So far we have doing nothing but just rename the page, and then you can quickly to preview to what it will look like. So this is a detail page. And so now the next thing is we're going to prepare the data model for this app. So for the data model, so the build term here is support the old data here. So you can prepare the data model. You can using you provide the data editor, and you can define your data model in the data editor, as well as import the data model with from the Excel sheet. So to showing the sales order, I'm going to show you the do it by menu. So basically this is the old data version 2.0. So the first object we want to have, it's I would like to give it the same name as the object we're using in the service layer business one. The reason why is that we're going to use service layer in the background, but the service layer, the OData version, its default version is OData 3.0, so we cannot using the service layer OData directly to here as a data source. Okay, we call it as orders, and then you can have in the property name as the field name you want to showing doc entry is a numeric, and then you can have another ones card code as entry. Okay, and then you can also have another, you can also have a second one, second object, you can call it document lines. Okay, and then the direction, the relationship will be from the order to document lines. It can be one to many. And then in the document line, you can have item code, and then and so on and so forth. You will need to put as what information what field you're going to showing. Eventually, you're going to showing in the app. To save the time, I already have prepared the whole structure and with the in the Excel sheet, and then I can import from Excel sheet. So now I would like to delete these two, and then just import from Excel sheet what I have prepared. So in this sales order of data 2.0 and with some sample data. So when you import the object scheme, the metadata for the object, as well as the sample data you've been showing here. So we're going to have a document number, cargo car name, and doc due date, and document total as well, document currency as well. All right. So, and after that, now we have in the data model sales order, header, and then document lines as well. And just notice you also can export the data what you have in here using the export model here as well. Okay, now let's go back to the designer. Now we're going to design our page. So the first, I would like to design the order list page. So I'm going to take the make the data bounding. So the data bounding, this is a list report of orders object. Okay, and then automatically you fill in the information. You fill in the information, and then the next one is I'm going to bound the ordered the cargo, the document entry with the column, and then the document total and doc currency with the numeric column here. So you can very simply easily drag and drop the data model to the smart table here, and you'll figure out automatically what is the ID, what is the field for the ID, what is the field for the numeric. And then this one, it doesn't recognize pretty well. It recognizes the cargo in the column number 2. So we're going to do some manipulation in the code column, and we would like to using the description. The description as the description is this one, and then also the doc num is the code here as well. So the description we're going to using the maybe the doc number, and now the description as the status, and then code as the doc num. So you're going to show in the by status, and then for the column 3, we're going to code this one as amount. So I'm going to using the value linked to the document total, and while the unit, of course, we're going to using the document currency, doc currency in this case. Now we're having 2 column, and actually here you allow you to add one more column here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more column to the table here. The column what we need is like the customer code and name, and so simply just drag and drop one more column. So the column, as you can see, if you mouse over, it can be standard column. So standard column, it can be the test, and then you can see what it's been showing here. If you look at the numerical column, so the numerical will be showing the amount and USD, or link column as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a code column. A code column, I would like to put the customer code, customer name on that as well. Okay, now for the second, we can name it as customer, and the description, we're going to using customer name, and the code, we go to using customer code. Second column, as a result, we have code, customer, and amount, 3 fields. Okay, the next one is what I'm going to do is I'm going to customize the filter bar. So the filter bar, you can specify the first one. I would like to filter by the status, and filter against the status. And of course, you can add more. If you want, you can add more filter bar by just drag and drop one more layer, one more field here to filter the customer. Okay, so I just want to keep it simple at the moment, and then you can quickly preview it. As a result, and we have in the first page order list. Now we're going to design the second page for the order details. So I'm going to using the view of a tablet instead of a smartphone, which give me the bigger screen. And by default, you are having the header and then several sections here. For the first, what we're going to do is set the object to bounding with orders, because this page is an instance of order. And once you set that, if you go back to the page map, and then you will see there was a linkage from our order list to order detail, because this is the list of order, this is the instance of a specific order. And now for the header, I would like to name the page as the order detail, and then for the title, I'm going to using the document number and the description as the status. And for the KPI, which we are going to use it as amount, value as doc total, and then the unit as the doc currency. And for the contact person, here we're going to using the customer as a customer. And then the full name as the customer code. Okay, And then for the header font, you can of course you can add one more field like the customer name, like the other delivery day, so on and so forth, into the header font. Just to keep it simple, I would remove it. If you want, you can add more user control and all of the form user control. They're available, and the header control, they're available here. You can just mouse over and then you'll see what it look like, and then drag and drop. What you get is what you see. I'll remove the header font, and for the first session, we don't need the first session here. I'm going to remove the first session, and the second session, it's for the line details. We'll keep it, and the third one, we're not using the third session. So for the second session, we're going to using for the line details in the title, we name it as contents. And then now we're going to bound this table with the line details object. So going back to the data, and then drag and drop document line bound with this data table, and automatically you will recognize what should be the column, code column, using the code column with the defense name. So for the code column here, we're going to using this one as item, and for the description, we're going to using the item description, and the code, we're going to using item code. And for the second column, we're going to using as the quantity. And for the third column, numeric column, and we're going using as the line. This should be the line total for us. And then the value as line total, and the unit as currency. And we're going to add one more standard column for the unit price. So simply go back to the user control and find out the standard column, drag and drop next to here. You can swap the order like this. And then the second column, we're going to name it as the unit price. And then link with the unit price. Okay, and then with that, now we can preview the second page. As you can see, it was showing us the order detail for the number one, and the line details, and the customer as well. And then if we have a look at from the smartphone, and then you will have a smaller view, and then line detail will be look a bit different here. All right, so now let's open the let's preview from the order list, and then navigate to the order details. So you saw us this order list, and then we can open the second one, and you saw us the line details in here. Okay, that's the end of Unit 4. We have covered how to build a high fidelity demo with BUILD.